Hi students, today we are going to study about something that's very common. We're going to study about metals. You see, metals are useful everywhere. They're there in the electric bulbs that light up in our rooms. They're even there in the gold and silver ornaments that we use. And they're there in all those statues and decoration pieces that we use in our houses. And then even the pipes and the electric connections in our houses, even they are made up of metals. So you can see that metals are basically everywhere. So what are the properties of metals, that make them so useful? For example, metals are used in, electric wires in our houses. What is the special property of metals that makes them useful there? We are going to study about physical properties of metals in this chapter. We'll understand why gold is used in gold ornaments, why a certain metal is used in electric bulbs, why some metals are used in making pipes and some others in electric wires. Let's proceed and we'll understand much more about the world of metals. Now, before we try to learn the physical properties of metals, let us first try to rewind what we have already learnt in class 9 about metals and non-metals. So first of all, what do you think are metals? Let's define metals, so that we get a grasp of what we've already learned. Then we can proceed and learn about the physical properties of metals. Metals are elements that conduct heat and electricity, and they can be drawn into wires and they can be beaten into sheets. So, metals are basically those elements which have some special properties. We had learnt in class 9 that there are around 115 elements, in the periodic table. Out of these, metals are those elements that conduct heat and electricity very well. They allow heat to pass through them, they allow electricity to pass through them, and they can be drawn into wires. That is, you can make them into wires easily, or you can beat them and make them into sheets. So these are the special properties of metals. We learn in detail about all these properties as we move on in this chapter. Another interesting properties of all metals is that metals lose electrons in chemical reactions. They lose electrons and form positive ions. Understood? After all, electrons are negatively charged, so when any substance loses electrons, positively charged ions are formed, isn't it? So this is another special property of metals. They lose electrons to form positive ions. Understood? So this is what we had learnt about metals in class 9. Here are some examples of metals. Of course, you must have heard of all these examples. Gold. You've heard of gold jewelry. You've heard of gold coins. Gold is a metal. Silver. Again, silver jewelry, silver coins. Copper. Copper is used in so many places. Copper is used in making electrical wires. It is sometimes used in making statues. It's a very common metal. Aluminium. Your cold drink cans are made up of aluminium. We use aluminium foil to keep our food warm. So metals are everywhere. So this was a brief overview of metals. Let's take a look at non-metals. So what exactly are non-metals? We'd learnt about this too in the previous chapter. You see, basically, all the elements which exhibit the exact opposite characteristics of metals in the periodic table are non-metals. So, non-metals are elements that do not conduct heat and electricity. They cannot be drawn into wires and they cannot be beaten into sheets. That's fascinating, isn't it? So basically the properties of metals and non-metals are opposite to each other. In fact, even the name, non-metal means that which is not a metal. Simple, isn't it? Again, non-metals have this special property that they form negative ions by accepting electrons in chemical reactions. So, they take in electrons in chemical reactions and they form negative ions. So, this is another important property of non-metals, and it's the exact opposite of the property of metals. After all, we discussed that metals release electrons to form ions. Non-metals take in electrons to form negative ions. So, you see, these were the common properties of non-metals that we have already learnt in class 9. So now that we've got an overview of what metals are, what non-metals are, what the basic property of metals and non-metals is, let's finally move on and study what we are going to really study in this chapter. the physical properties of metals. Let's proceed. The first important property of metals that we'll study is that metals are malleable. Do you know what malleable is? If you take a piece of gold and if you keep hitting it with a hammer, the piece of gold will keep on stretching and stretching, and its thickness will keep on decreasing and decreasing. Isn't it? So basically a gold block will become a gold sheet if you keep on hitting it with a hammer. So this property, of metals to be drawn into sheets is called malleability. Understood? So if you hit a metal, it does not break into pieces. It gets stretched and stretched until a sheet is formed. This is a very important characteristic of metals. You must have, used aluminium foil to keep your food warm. Aluminium foil is possible only because metals are malleable. You see, after all, when you keep on hitting a block of aluminium for a long time, aluminium becomes so thin that it almost becomes like a foil. And this foil is what we use to keep our food warm. So this is an important property. Metals are malleable. Now, how malleable are metals, and what is the most malleable of all metals? The interesting fact here is that gold is the most malleable of all metals. How malleable is it? If you take one single gram of gold, that is 0.001 kg of gold, did you know that it can be beaten into a thin sheet that can cover a very large table? Just one tiny gram of gold, one tiny gram of gold is extremely small in size. It will fit between your index finger and your thumb. It will be very, very small. But when you beat it into a sheet, it can form a sheet which is 1 meter square in area, or large enough to cover a very large table. Understood? So there you go, you can see how malleable gold is. No wonder then that gold is the most malleable of all metals. So this was the first property of metals. Let's move on to this next property. The next property of metals is that metals are ductile. Do you know what ductile means? Let's take a small piece of gold. Now, let's stretch this piece of gold. Let's pull it from both sides. As we pull and pull and pull, the gold slowly, forms a thin wire. And if we pull it for a long time, we get a complete gold wire. Ductility is the ability of a metal to be drawn into wires. Understood? So, if you take a metal block and if you apply enough, stress on both sides, the metal will soon become a metal wire. This is a special property that is unique to metals. Understood? Of course, you must have seen copper and aluminium wires, isn't it? We use aluminium and copper wires for electrical connections in our house. If you take any electrical wire, and if you rip open the plastic coating of the wire, you will see either copper or aluminium. Why do we use only copper or aluminium? Because they are extremely ductile metals, and they can be drawn into wires. Can you guess what the most ductile metal is? Well, the answer is gold again. Gold is the most ductile of all metals. The fascinating fact again is that if you again take just 1 gram of gold, one tiny gram of gold, it can actually be stretched into a wire that is 2 kilometers long. Isn't that just amazing? 1 gram of gold is so tiny, and you can stretch it for 2 whole kilometers. So that is how ductile metals can be. Understood? So this is a very interesting fact.